Most things are nerfed, especially Katana. Katana is gutted. Longsword might still have Toothpick. 1, 2, 3s are more powerful now, and Dagger is the best weapon in the game. Matari is still the best champion. She gets a little bit of distance removed off of her Silent Flutter Rapid Flash, and Tarkaji still has his ultimate. Yodohime is viable, and so is Valda Tsui. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's OSK. It's been a while, just had some IRL things going on, and we have a nice little tournament announcement that I'm going to get to at the end of this video. But today, we got to talk about these patch notes that just came in that are going to be going in overnight. I'm going to try to get this video out as soon as possible, and hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll have this green screen situation figured out because sometimes it's staticky, sometimes it's not. But in any case, we got some meta stuff to go over for Naraka Bladepoint, and we're going to get into it right here. Starting off, we got that brand new mode. If you've been waiting for an arena mode, if you've been waiting for any kind of different game mode other than BR that you can just hop into and get that 1v1 experience, look no further. We have Bloodsport. You don't have to go into custom matches anymore. You can go into Bloodsport. Now, here's the thing about Bloodsport is that it requires 16 players and you're in a bracket system. Now, whenever you're playing through Bloodsport, the first few rounds are going to be best of one. You can select a character, you can select a melee weapon. Ranged weapons are free game, so you can choose whichever one of those you want, but you have an infinite amount or a near infinite amount of melee weapons that you can choose to hop in the action with, and of course you get to choose your character before every round. It's very, very cool. Now, the one thing that I will stress is that it's a best of one, so if you die once in the early rounds, then I guess bad news for you. Queue up for the next Bloodsport, so that needs a little bit of tweaking. I would like to see a best of 3, but if you get to the final round, you get to choose 3 characters, 3 weapons, and you get a best of 3. It is actually a pretty competitive mode if you get the best of 3 in here and you get to the finals. So I'm very, very excited to see Bloodsport. Personally, I mean, I've already said I'm already excited. I think that this could have the potential to be the next staple mode in the West. I really do. I think a lot of players get turned off by the Battle Royale mode. There's a lot of problems that come up with balancing characters around the Battle Royale mode. Now you have a straight 1v1, no ultimates, only skills, only melee weapons, and a few heals. I think that this mode is going to do a lot of good for the game. So hopefully my predictions are right, and you guys enjoy the Bloodsport. It's going to be going in to the live patch pretty much tomorrow morning if you're in the US. So hopefully you guys enjoy the mode. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this after it already comes out. Just how you're enjoying the Bloodsport. I, of course, have an announcement later on, but I think it's going to be a really, really good, I think it's going to be a really good experience. Now, moving on to heroes, we're getting some balancing here. Tianhai just shortened the duration that he's staggered after the enemy escapes. So if an enemy's trying to struggle to get out of your grasp and they happen to do so, sometimes he like rocks back, they've reduced the time on that. Matari, they only nerfed a small part of her kit. This is the Rapid Flash, the double TP skill that everybody uses. They just decreased the movement distance. I think she's still going to be S tier. I think she's still going to be overpowered in the Battle Royale mode. I can't speak to the Bloodsport mode, but her distance has been shortened just a little bit. So maybe you'll have a little bit of a harder time getting onto higher platforms. Maybe you'll have a harder time getting out of situations altogether. But in any case, distance is shorter. Now, Kurumi has some really cool buffs. So Kurumi is no longer affected by flamethrowers or fire arrows. Now you have to use hero skills. And interestingly, Kurumi's circle can only be altered by allies. So if you're a Tarkaji looking to put a fireball into an enemy Kurumi, you can't affect your circle anymore. It's only friendlies. So this really only applies to trios as far as changing the elements. But if you're in solos, there's no way that anybody's countering your ultimate unless they just hit you out of it and damage through it. So anyway, they've increased the damage of the fire from 75 to 100, and they've also decreased the duration it's been affected by fire or poison elements. So the downsides are lessened. The damage and everything like that can only be applied from your friends, and they've increased damage to fire. So there you go. For Yodohime, her piercing vision is granted by the ominous blade. Her this is all of her ultimates, I think. In all of its variants. Yep, right there. They can make enemies with stealth visible. So if you get a hit against an enemy and you can see their health bar, they're going to make that visible. I don't know if this applies to if you're into trios, it makes it visible for everybody, or if it just makes it more visible for you as a Yodohime, but I would imagine trios, it's going to have a big effect. Now, here's the big one, is that her Spirit/Vortex, this is the slow one that comes out that everyone uses to get a fight reset. You can now use it while you're under attack, and it has gold focus. So if you're having a bit of a rough moment and you really need to get out of the action, you can hit with the Vortex, get out of that bad situation, stand within the Vortex, get a heal off, and you've basically reset the fight from there. It's basically an offensive Matari blink. It doesn't blink you yourself, but it serves the same purpose. You can reset the fight pretty easily, and then you're back into it. I think this is going to make Yodohime very dangerous. I think that this is going to make her very, very powerful. So hopefully it has that desired effect. Also, it knocks back enemies, so you're not going to get swirled in by the F3. Now it's just going to keep enemies out along with their attacks and their arrows. So very nice change for Yodohime. Also very applicable in the new Bloodsport match. Tarka G, they've increased the distance that Tarka knocks back enemies with his ultimate blackout. This does nothing for his intimate. For his infinite, if you can still get a hit on and get a combo into uppercuts, he can still infinite you, which hopefully that gets removed someday. I really don't like it, but it's still in the game. But what this does is make it to where I need to see testing of this, because I don't know if the ultimate is going to knock you back far enough to where you can't get a combo off. But before, he would activate his ultimate, get a quick stagger on you, and then would go into his infinite uppercuts. Hopefully it knocks you back far enough to where you can't just press the button and then infinite. We'll have to see as this comes out, but the infinite's still in the game, so be aware of that. All right, now Vajra Warrior, there was a bug on her F3. Now they've made it to where there is more invulnerability once you initially hit it. Oftentimes, whenever someone was charging a focus attack and you hit the F3, there was not any iframes to prevent you from getting hit by the focus attack. But now that is fixed because there's invulnerability frames. Also, they've made her ultimate damage more, and the wave that comes out will travel faster, so maybe you'll have an easier time hitting it. That is with her first variant of the ultimate and the second variant. Moving on to melee weapons, they've optimized time frame of red flash light triggered by counter strikes. Keep in mind that this means that the red flash will only activate when the actual counter strike frames are active. The startup frames will not have any red flash, and it's still a predictive nature of the counter strike. So you'll need to make sure to still put out a predictive counter strike. This does not change the speed of the animation. This only changes when the red flash comes out, so keep that in mind. Now for longsword, this is the same for many weapons on this patch here. They've increased the 1-2-3 combo by increasing the damage on the third strike, that focus strike that comes out. So be aware of that. They've also reduced the damage dealt by the airborne horizontal strike. So after you're done getting a toothpick, and everyone loves to go for those aerial horizontal strikes, those are now reduced in damage by quite a bit. I think this is a factor of about 25%. So there you go, 25% reduced damage. Also, they've done the same thing to the vertical strikes as well. They've also changed the counter strike combo damage to where instead of the first hit doing 318%, they've now changed it to where the Counter-Strike combo damage does 128%, and then the second hit does a huge amount of damage. They've kept the overall damage the same if you were going for both hits, but a lot of times players would go for the first hit before the enemy gets knocked down, and then go into a toothpick combo from there. Now it does a lot less damage, and I mean a lot. It does like a third of what it used to do, so keep that in mind there. They've also increased the speed from a running horizontal strike into a dodge, and they've slightly shortened the attack stagger duration. So this does not affect toothpicking unless this is a misprint and they mean vertical strike, where it would shorten the stagger duration there. This will do nothing to toothpicks. So toothpicking might very well still be in the game. I think I saw some Chinese footage where they were still getting toothpick stuff off. I'll have to relook at that on my personal time, but for right now, I don't think toothpicking is really affected by the stagger duration. Oh, let me get that back up. Now, for the range of the... Okay, so the range of the running vertical strikes, which is what initiates the toothpicking, has been reduced. The range is reduced, so it's a little bit harder to hit once you're further out. It does not have the same range as a spear now, thank God, but it is still a thing with the toothpick combo if you can land it. They've also reduced the range of the focus attacks, and they've slightly increased the range of counter-strike combos. So there you go. Toothpicking probably still in the game, but for the most part, the damage will be a little bit reduced. So there you go. Now moving on to Dagger, they did some big things with Dagger. So if you want to look at the 1-2-3, the vertical strike third attack is increased by a lot. This is, I think, close to a 50% increase. So if you're looking to do the 1-2-3 combo on your vertical strikes, there you go. It's going to be really free. Now to the Counter-Strike combo damage, this is the same thing. Counter-Strike is really hard to hit with Dagger anyway. So I wouldn't recommend following up with a Counter-Strike. Mostly it's a combo after you get a combo off, after you get a counter off, that really does the most damage. But if you want to if you really want to go for the Counter-Strike, make sure you stay around for that second hit, because it's the same thing as the longsword, where the first hit is really weak, but the second hit is really strong. So there you go. Also, players can dodge the uppercut slash after the soul break that follows a dagger dash. So this is going to nerf the stagger of soul break quite a bit. So before you would go for a soul break and then uppercut right after, it looks like they have made it to where players dodge out of it now. So there you go. At least that's what it sounds like. Now, they've also slightly shortened Dagger's charge time, so it might be in line with Katana there. But here's the interesting thing. You can now follow airborne vertical strikes and Dragon Crush with Dagger dashes. Now, what this means is that once you do your charged left mouse button and it does your little uppercut, you can actually Dagger dash out of the air on the way down. And you can also do this with airborne vertical strikes, so you're not like locked into the animation and you have to get back up. Now you can just zoom on out. They've also optimized the feel of some Dagger Dash moves, and they slightly increased the range of Counter-Strike combos for that double hit. So what this does is it decreases the combo ability out of the soul break. I think that with optimizing the feel of Dagger Dash moves, this will be, it'll be a nice quality of life improvement for that right mouse button focus attack, where you do your right mouse button, you're stabbing down, and then you dodge out, and then you go for an uppercut. I think that this is going to improve that. So Dagger, as far as the damage with the 1, 2, 3, which is a good mix-up, it looks like it's going to be probably the best weapon in the game, but we'll come back to that. Now, going on to the Greatsword. The Greatsword had its damage reduced overall. Those airborne horizontal strikes that you try to focus through but still hit you for half your shield, that's been nerfed a little bit. Not by much, but a little bit. Also, the airborne vertical strikes has been reduced as well, where it looks like it is down by a fifth of what it used to be. So there you go for that. They've also increased the vertical strike damage by a little bit. This is crouching vertical strike damage, so this must be the uppercut. And they've reduced the damage of running vertical strikes, which is what everyone was doing. They've reduced that down just a little bit. So overall, the stuff that people like to do with Greatsword has been reduced quite a bit, but that focus attack still every bit as strong. So be careful with that. Katana, my boy Katana has been nerfed a little bit. So they've increased the damage 1, 2, 3 combo. There's nothing new, but they've reduced the damage dealt by horizontal strikes by a third. That is absolutely brutal. Actually, let me see here. It's about 40%. Yeah, it's about a third. So the aerial combos that you were getting with Katana, they're going to be weak as hell. So basically what this means is that your uppercut into the standing horizontal attack, into the multiple vertical aerial verticals, that's probably not going to be viable anymore. What you want to go for now is just the grapple combo every time. Get the uppercut, the grapple, and then the charge focus attack. That's really the only viable thing you got. Katana has been gutted. The aerial strikes are just absolutely awful now, and it's a real shame. But anyway, going on to the Blink Strike here, the follow-up horizontal strike has been buffed quite a bit, and the vertical strike has been buffed quite a bit as well. So now it might actually be worth going for that second hit. Still a little bit dangerous because of counters, but you can still delay it and all the fun stuff. They've also reduced the range of running horizontal strikes, and they've increased the range of running vertical strikes. So what this means is that the main combo starter for Katana has been nerfed, and the thing that I guess some people use but not really, the vertical strikes. I mean, you might be able to combo out of it. I really don't know. I'm not a Katana expert. But yeah, Katana's combo potential has been absolutely gutted. Now for Spear, they have increased the damage dealt by horizontal third attacks by a little bit, 40% looks like. And they've changed the damage dealt by aerial horizontal strikes. They've nerfed it, and the airborne vertical strikes have been buffed. So this is also going to hurt the combo potential, the aerial combo potential of Spear, where you go for 3 horizontal aerial attacks. That is now nerfed. They've also increased the startup frame duration of slide horizontal strikes. Okay, so if you're sliding around, they've decreased the damage of your initial little, you know, your little wobble of the spear. So that's nerfed as well. Unfortunate for the spear. Now going on Soul Jades, Blue Moon has its damage increased a little bit. No one's going to be using that Soul Jade anyway, so it doesn't matter. Spear Soul Jades, dual rings, horizontal third attack. Why are you doing 1, 2, 3s with the spear? It's delayed, it's easy to predict, and everyone dodges out of it anyway. I don't understand this change. Katana Soul Jade, they've increased the damage dealt by stamina strikes, vertical strikes, third attack. Okay, it's whatever. These Soul Jades are whatever. They're not used a whole lot, and this won't change their viability, I don't think. Now, in-game adjustments, they've added new custom match functions. Lobby hosts can now set a spawn location when they are in the Herald's Trial and Bloodbath custom matches. This is going to make Bloodbath 1v1s quite a bit easier to sort of control. A lot of players were sort of boycotting some maps like the Shadow Jade Mine. If you have a full 16-player lobby and you go into Shadow Jade, there's really only that central area to play in, and it was getting very, very crowded. So now you can just choose that bone area. I forget the name of it, with the bones overhead, but they got the wide valleys with the red flowers in them. That's probably the best Bloodbath match for 1v1s. But anyway, you can now choose it. You can also invite friends to it, and you've adjusted the weapon order in the band setting. Now the order is based on weapon types, which is pretty cool. The new reputation score, when it reaches 9,000, players will receive an extra 10% experience. This is not rank. This is account experience for the battle pass and that sort of thing. So it's not going to increase your rank, just the battle pass, and potentially, well, it will definitely increase your player level, but you get what I mean. For combat, they've lengthened the vulnerability period while rolling up after you've been knocked down. So if you're trying to get up, especially for newer players that were having a little bit of trouble timing their get ups, this is going to be a little bit easier for them now. Shadow Poison, they've now implemented it into the first 3 circles. So you're still going to tick down a little bit after you get out of those. Controllers, they've optimized camera sensitivity. When using controllers, they've expanded the sensitivity range that can be selected in controller settings, allowing for greater sensitivity. That is pretty cool for a controller player. I do not play on controller, but if you're a controller player, let me know in the comments how that affects you. For store updates, they've added T-Mulch skins, and yeah, Unmatchable Champion is a T-Mulch skin. They've added the collaborative things for that same skin, basically T-Mulch skins. And they also have a new gesture for Tumult as well. For bugs, they fixed the timing issue that would occur when countering attacks with Tarkaji's Inner Fire. So that's cool for Tarka. They've fixed the issue where having Soul Jades equipped would sometimes result in Greatsword Counter-Strike combos, dealing multiple instances of damage for Greatsword Sap. Thank Christ they fixed this, because I remember this, okay? Thank God they fixed it. Fix the issue where the map couldn't be dragged or zoom out when moving over. I never got this issue for the map moving thing, but there you go. All right, guys, so quick patch rundown. Most things are nerfed, especially Katana. Katana is gutted. Longsword might still have Toothpick. 1, 2, 3s are more powerful now, and Dagger is the best weapon in the game. Matari is still the best champion. She gets a little bit of distance removed off of her Silent Flutter Rapid Flash, and Tarkaji still has his ultimate. Yodohime is viable, and so is Valda Tsui. We have a new 1v1 arena mode that everyone asked for, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like on the video and subscribe as well. Big announcement here. You may have already heard of it from a community post. I am putting on a weekly 1v1 tournament. So if you would, please go down in the description where you can join the Discord. I have revamped the entire Discord. It's a lot nicer now. And in that Discord, you can enter links to sign up for this 1v1 tournament. It will be going down this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to see you there. I want to see you go up against the best. It's a really interesting rule set that I've put together. So make sure you check out that 1v1 tournament. I'm really, really excited about it. Now, that's going to do it for me, guys. Y'all have a great day. Sorry for the delay here. I know it's been over a week since I last posted. A lot of IRL stuff going on. Got some interviews, got job things going on. But in any case, I'm going to try to upload a lot more now. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.